Hi Libra, welcome to your October 2018 tarot reading. It's Rena here. Happy birthday to those of you who are born in October. And even those of you born in September, why not, right? I was just remarking to Cancer that I've been seeing a lot of Pentacles cards in these readings for October, so money issues seem to be first and foremost in a lot of people's minds, and I was saying that I'm kind of surprised that this isn't, because this is, I'm recording this at the end of September, but I would expect that for Virgo, the Virgo time period, not for the mainly Libra time period in October. So kind of interesting. You have a lot of major arcana cards. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 out of only 7 cards. So that's another thing that I've been seeing is some signs having a lot of major arcana cards, some not. So there can be change, and of course this is your solar return period, so that tends to be a new cycle. I mean, it is a new cycle, but it tends to be, I think, pretty eventful because you might be starting new projects or just planning what you want to do in the next year. And just, that's just something that people like to do when they're in their birthday month. The heart of the matter is the King of Pentacles, which is, this could be like the head honcho at a business. This could be an older male or a more mature male, even if they're young, who is an earth sign. And you tend to gravitate or find yourself attracted to the Capricorns, but the other earth signs are Taurus and Virgo. And this person, maybe they give out loans and you want a loan, or maybe this is somebody you're dating, or maybe this is your actual father. But this could be like an important businessman. And I am using gender here because of the nature of the court cards. And so I, just by that first card, I can't say for sure what's going on. Let's look at the foundation card. Another Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, poverty consciousness, lack consciousness. And so these could be feelings that you're having, and either you need to get help, maybe from your family, maybe this is your father, but he represents the family's purse strings, that you have to get money for your children because of your partner is not doing so well. We have in the challenge position the Temperance card. Yeah, I mean, this could even be the sign of your partner, Sagittarius. And they could just be irresponsible, or they have a substance abuse problem. Drinking is a big one with Temperance. They have the cups here. And the point being that it's in the challenge position. Temperance is like balance, so they may even have some kind of a mental imbalance, like bipolar, where they might have periods of time where they're perfectly functioning, and then they go off the rails, and then, so it's kind of like up and down. And if you love this person, you may just stick around for the good times. And because I see the King of Pentacles in your life is probably this rock, somebody who's stable, somebody that you can count on to help you financially, and especially if you have children to raise. If it's just you, then you probably wouldn't need it, but because you probably wouldn't be dependent. But there might be this feeling that you can't do it on your own. Now, I'm trying to think of another scenario, like romantically. And this could be like a situation too, that you're with somebody who does have a lot of money, and maybe you don't love this person, but perhaps you feel like, I better stay with this person because who knows if I'd ever be able to get another person, and at least they are loaded, so at least I have that. You know, I don't mean to make it sound like Libra people are gold diggers, but the thing is that you like to live in the high life. So you require a lot of money for that kind of a lifestyle. And obviously I'm broad brushing, but I'm saying that Libra people, and I've known many in my time, tend to enjoy kind of luxury. And if they're on a budget, then that's not like their favorite place to be. That doesn't make their hearts sink to be on a budget. Obviously they can function, but maybe, especially if you came from a low income background, and so the allure of somebody who has money, I think about somebody who has Venus in Capricorn, and I don't think that it wouldn't be possible for you to have Venus in Capricorn, but it's that mentality that maybe you have the moon in Capricorn, or you have Capricorn rising, where that desire to enhance your social standing or something along those lines can be achieved through a particular person, and you're really like trying to make it happen. And the problem is that you might not love this person, but they might be very stable. And maybe this is somebody who's a lot older than you, and it's almost like a father replacement. And nothing weird, in all of that. Simply that this person makes you feel safe and taken care of. But there might not be that kind of love nature. Maybe there's either that person has a drinking problem, or or there's another person who you really love, a Sagittarius perhaps, who you can't be with. Maybe that person doesn't have their stuff together, and so that's why you're with this person. The spiritual message is the Death card. So regardless of what is going on here, there is a transition that needs to be acknowledged. And so perhaps you've been kind of holding on to a relationship, or some kind of a relationship that has run its course. And I do feel that for some of you, this is a marriage, because we get, in the present tense, we get the Justice card. So this can be the situation of, this sense of the legal system involved in it. One more thing that I want to say is that you may even have been in some kind of, like, you may have even consulted a lending institution or something along those lines, because you have been, maybe you have your own business and you took out a loan, and you're not solvent. And the Temperance card could mean that you have a spending problem, you're a shopaholic, or you just are not you haven't made wise decisions, and things like that. What is coming in is represented by the Hangman. So This is about letting go and letting God. And in this particular situation, especially since there seems to be these themes of great change, the Death card, that's what's so interesting about the Death card in connection to the Hangman. Because the Hangman is number 12, and Death is number 13. So, you know, the Fool's Journey is going through all these phases. And basically, there's a good reason for those two cards to be side by side. Because in order to like change your life, especially if it's a major transition, you have to be willing to let go of, you know, whatever you know as your life and allow it to just run its course. And it's very hard. Some people think, you know, when I have mentioned, I'm sure a lot of people think when I say about letting go that they take that to mean giving up, and that couldn't be further from the truth. That is further, yeah, couldn't be further from the truth. Because it's about surrender. Surrender is not giving up. It's not seeing there needs to be a fight in the first place. And so that is important to distinguish, because a lot of times when people think that they want something, they really, you know, you think about like people clinging to something and it's like their knuckles are getting white because they're losing blood flow, because they're clinging so hard. And when you let go and relax and trust that if it's meant to be, it's going to happen, that's letting go of resistance. And that's the paradox and irony of life, is that sometimes you achieve your goal when you realize that it doesn't even matter anyway. In other words, a lot of times people think, if this doesn't happen for me, then, you know, my life is, you know, a total disaster. And they cling to this need for a certain outcome. And, you know, it could be a relationship that they want to preserve, or a job that they want to stay in. And then the job ends, and the thing, you know, it ends anyway. And you realize that those things don't define you, that that's not really what your life is about. And the more that you surrender to the will of God or to the universe, the more you live in a state of grace. At least that's how I feel. And yes, I believe in the law of attraction, but some people take the law of attraction, they become very controlling about it, and they want to manifest things all the time. And I am pretty sure that there are people who do all the right exercises for law of attraction and things still don't happen, and they are very controlling people. Cardinal signs like Libra have to be careful about controlling behaviors. It's not just about barking orders, you know, to other people. It's also about wanting to control how your life unfolds to the nth degree. And I think that when people cannot allow for any kind of things happening beyond their control, they are very anal, they're very uptight, and a lot of times I think they become very frustrated because things don't unfold the way they want them to. And it is a total screwing of the mind, because once you have made peace with the fact that you don't need a certain outcome, and then it happens, and you're like, wait a second, oh, I would have felt so much better if this would have happened when I really wanted it to happen. And now it's like happening, and it's fun and it's great, but it just doesn't have the same, I don't know, feelings behind it or emphasis. And that's because it took, you know, letting go of resistance for it to come to you. And, you know, there's that, I don't know if is that the Lord's Prayer? I don't think so. It says, not my will, but thy will. That certainly is a saying. And I do believe in kind of a mixture of autonomy and also accepting what is, you know, and being happy in the moment. Byron Katie has a book, Loving What Is. And That's such an important thing to do. Okay. And the outcome, this is, I've been getting this card in other readings. The Six of Pentacles. You should like this, Libra, because you have the scales. That's your symbol of fairness. It's kind of tit for tat in a way. But it's also, you know, that was kind of a secondary thing that I found out about. When I first found out the meaning of this card, it was like somebody is receiving financial aid or giving it. In this particular reading, I would say that you're getting it. And it doesn't mean because you're poor or, you know, you're just in that state that you're a desperate state at all. I think that it's possible that if you have your own business, that something happened because of your attitude, especially those Libra people who grew up with a lot of negative ideas about money. Oh, and it can be, you know, it can be that you were out of work or that you were low on funds, that you ask for it from somebody, whether it's a banking institution, you ask for a loan, or it could be a parent, like a father or another father, like a father figure in your life, or a male that's close to you. Or this could even be the courts doling out the funds. Maybe, you know, you've been separated from this person and you have been living lower than your usual, you know, level of income. And the Justice card suggests, it's in the upright position, it suggests that you're going to get what's coming to you in a good way. And the Six of Pentacles also indicates fairness in how the money is dealt with, but still there can be that situation going on with money changing hands, maybe you being able to get it. You know, I didn't think about this. This could be like an estate of your father. Maybe he's the King of Pentacles, the Death card. He's died. I'm saying that this would have happened. I'm not saying this would happen in October. And this is probably something that's been going on with a probate issue. Yeah, I didn't think about that. And you're going to get what's coming to you. Maybe you've even lived in a lot of like financial straits, and now you are going to benefit from this. And if you think about it, Jupiter is spending its last month, full month, in your second house of earned income. So, and I would just say your money situation in general. The opposite house, the 8th house. Oh yeah. Okay, here. Work with me here. This is what's probably going on. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like some kind of a probate issue with your father, because the 8th house is other people's money, including inheritances, because it has a connection to death. Scorpio, which the Death card is connected to. And we're having a full moon on October 24th. And guess what sign it's in? Taurus. So this is actually going to fall in your 8th house. And then you have that opposition from the 2nd house where Jupiter is in. So you could see, and interestingly too, the sun is the father, and the sun at the time of this full moon is going to be at 1 degree of Scorpio. So it's going to be in that 2nd house, opposing the moon in your 8th house. So unless it's your mother, that but you know, the king of Pentacles. I usually think of the father, but anyway, wow. So it looks, if you've been worried about that, maybe you're fighting, you know, the 5 of Pentacles could be that you're dealing with people that are petty, maybe siblings who don't have as much money as you, and they are fighting with you about it. And because people who exhibit greed, a lot of times there's some poverty consciousness lurking behind there. That's why they have to lower themselves in that way in the first place. So, yeah, okay, Libra. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you'd like a personal reading, the link to my website is below. I'm RenaMoonAstrology.com. Take care. Bye.